Good girl. Her legs were so weak she couldn't even step down properly off the trailer. She was the skinniest horse I had ever seen. I received a phone call from a local rescue saying that they just received a draft horse.
Oh my gosh.
And they were very honest with me. They said, we don't know how long she has. She came from a severe neglect situation, but she just needed someone to believe in her. And we said, we don't care how much it costs, and we're gonna give her a shot. The day that lady arrived here, she just hung her head very low. So we just talked to her and brushed her. She had a skin condition and she ended up losing like 70% of the hair on her body. And we made a promise to her that we weren't going to make her suffer.
So good. That's the spot, huh, Mama?
So the first week that we had Lady, she did not enjoy those skin treatments. And then she started to look forward to them. Like, ooh, you're gonna scratch my little itchy spot. I think she understood that we were trying to help her. That's when she started to flourish and show her personality. Now she'll rub against you and tell you, start petting me now. She'd start drooling and her lip would start quivering.
You like that, huh, Mama? You like that?
Then one day she met Royal. The majority of the horses didn't go near her, but Royal was drawn to her because his mother was a starved horse as well. So he would stand by the fence line and just stand next to her for hours. The first time that we let them out together, she smelled his face and they kissed each other. And ever since then, they're just the best of friends. We thought that our time with Lady was going to be very short. And for her to pull through and to be so joyful throughout the process. She's been an inspiration to all of us. She doesn't look anything like the horse that arrived here back in May. What's going on?
When we rescued Leo and Lou, it was just physically the worst cases that I had ever seen. They were former workhorses and then discarded like an old tractor that's been kind of used up. I mean, every bone in Leo's body was visible. They had horrible feet. So we started fundraising to get them to safety. When they got to the farm, they immediately knew they were safe. We could walk right up to them and touch them and pet them. They were so hungry, but when a horse is that thin, you can't just start feeding them. It has to be a very slow, very gradual process. We were very concerned with Leo because he was definitely in the worst condition of the two. So I reached out to a local rehab facility out here and I told them, we've got this senior horse. They said, what about water treadmill therapy? And we said, okay, let's give it a try. He immediately started stepping. It was really cute to watch. So he was able to put on the weight safely, and what a transformation. Lou was clearly wondering like where his friend was going. But as soon as he gets back, it's that nose to nose kind of meeting. And then they got on this regular routine, kind of just hanging out. Their personalities were pretty evident from day one.
Hi, Lou. Good boy. Oh, you're muddy.
Leo was very curious, just naturally wanting to know what you're up to. And then Lou is much more reserved, very laid back. but they have really always been next to each other. But we really believe that they got through those horribly dark times because of their friendship.
Very handsome.
Lou and Leo are both retired. They've spent probably most of their lives working. Now they really just kind of enjoy it where they're outside. Something so simple like that is really a beautiful thing.
Riddle, honey. My first impression of Riddle was just, this is so sad. Like, how can a horse get to this point? He was brought to us by our animal cruelty task force team. Riddle was 700 pounds underweight. And he wasn't able to stand up by himself because he literally had no muscle in his body. Our first thought was, let's get to work. But at the same time, we were definitely like, is this horse going to pull through? The plan for the first few days with Riddle was to keep him alive. He required care 24/7. So we had people constantly checking on him. We followed our vet's advice and started him on a very small amount of food. The moment that Riddle laid down, we had to lift him physically ourselves. In the past, we've had horses that have been as thin as he is, who have gone down and can't get up. They just give up. And Riddle never acted like that. It was just basically like, all right, guys, come help me.
Do you think I could just stand my bar for this?
Yes.
That was when we were like, this guy's gonna make it. The second that somebody walked into the barn, he would raise his head. He just loved any human attention he could get. Our staff would take him outside once he could walk himself and give him baths. He was so kind, and I think that was one of the reasons why our staff fell in love with him. He began to gain weight. His coat is very shiny, and he just looks like a different horse.
Hi, buddy.
Letting him see the trees and breathe in the fresh air, he was so excited. Like, he was so just happy to be there. Seeing him now, I would never imagine that that's the same horse that came in. It was so worth it. I don't think anybody ever regretted it once. The goal is that he finds a home and gets adopted and gets to have his true second chance. But for now, he's just hanging out here. He's a delight to have.
When Macarena first saw Booty, his hair was falling off. He was so skinny he looked like a skeleton.
¿Qué tal, Woody?
And his weak legs could barely hold him up. But Macarena saw the life in Booty's eyes, so she was like, let's give him a chance. Booty came from a place where he only ate garbage. Well, that's what the locals said. He'd never gotten medical attention, ever. Macarena and her boyfriend rescue horses, so they knew they could help Booty. As soon as he arrived, they treated him with special shampoos and fed him small meals. They'd take him on walks so he could be active again. But most importantly, they gave him love therapy.
Hola, señor Woody.
Over time, Booty started feeling better. His coat grew back shiny and healthy. And he managed to pick up weight.
Buenos días, Woody.
Macarena thought he was finally comfortable. But when Booty started running, they were like, oh wow, that's a happy horse. From then, his personality just popped out even more. Booty became the friendliest horse they'd ever met. He would kiss the other horses, and even helped other rescues to come out of their shell. Macarena hoped his good days would last longer. But suddenly, after 2 years, Booty started losing weight. He was very old, so they knew he would walk the Rainbow Bridge soon. Compared to his life before, Booty's last 3 years were filled with happiness and care. Macarena hopes he's galloping happily wherever he is now. Maybe one day they'll meet again.
Looking at him running with that wire around his leg really broke my heart. The more that he was running around, the tighter it got. We had the call that Michael was wrapped up in phone cable, so we had to move pretty quickly to get this resolved. We had intentions of being able to catch him with a pen, but we realised that it was too risky. And darting him would be the definitely safer option. The wounds were very deep, and he would need a lot of attention from us.
You okay, ready guys? Yeah. Hang on, stay there.
This then became a very serious and complicated rescue. He arrived back at the sanctuary, then the next sort of problem arose where we had to then handle him. He's not been around people or anything. He had never even eaten from a bucket. It was very hard for us at this stage. And I had to go in with Michael every day. I absolutely fell in love with him. He is such a sweet, kind boy. Once he knew that I wasn't a threat to him, he completely warmed to me. Where Michael came from is a piece of common land that has a lot of ponies on there, and they're not owned by anyone. Through the winter, many of them suffer. Through the summer, more and more are born. It's a place that tells some horrific stories, and each year gets worse and worse. 2 weeks later, we had another call to this common, and it was Henry at this point that needed our help. He had severe injuries from fighting, so we knew we had to quickly get him to a vet. Alison, when she saw Henry, she just sort of melted to him. It was quite funny. We both had sort of our own little project at the same time. Henry and Michael probably had spent pretty much the majority of their lives fighting each other. One afternoon, he did sort of call, and Henry answered Michael, and that's when that sort of friendship started. It was completely unexpected. I think there's definitely a future for Michael, whether it's here at the sanctuary, or it might work out that maybe him and Henry end up going to a forever home. It's almost as if it was meant to be.